Hey there, gang. I thought I'd do something unusual today. I've meant to do this for some time and just talk to you about how I use effects. I think if you've seen any of my free improv videos, you could probably imagine some of this, but I figured I'd just show you and do a quick performance, and it's gonna be a different performance than I've ever done before because, you know, I might have mentioned before, I worked and studied with Eddie Prevost of AMM Music in London and have stayed friends with him all these years. And, you know, AMM Music, Spontaneous Music Ensembles, several other free improv groups, you know, the thing that Eddie tried to beat into my brain that was hard as an American musician was he wasn't interested in notes. He was interested in sounds, right? So, you know, he knew I could play. He's like, I know you could play. I don't want to hear scales and whatever and grooves. I want to hear sounds. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate today. And Keith Rowe, the guitar player in AMM Music, is one of the greatest innovators in this style. It might not be for everybody, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just more interested in sounds and textures, which leads me to how I use effects. So on the screen now, you will see the 3 boards I'm using today. And yeah, that's a little unusual, but I'm going for a stereo spacious thing. And one board that has the Endorphins Ghost pedal on it, well, that's in stereo and it doesn't need an amp because it has a built-in cabinet and it sounds really great, super hi-fi. So I've got a little board with that, the Chase Bliss Lossy, the Eventide H90, and a few other small things, you know, an overdrive and an octave pedal. And then I've also got, and I don't use it enough, though I do love it, is the Roland SY 1000, Boss Roland SY 1000. I'm always confused about that. I guess I should look at it. But anyway, the Boss SY 1000 synthesizer. I love it. I've got a pickup installed on my lap steel. The only issue with it is my lap steel's an 8-string and the pickup only picks up 6. But that can be cool on its own too. So that's also running in stereo. And then I have this third board that's got the wah, the Freakout, the Digitech Freakout, which is, again, there for sound, not for notes, really. So, like, maybe, I don't know, but if I'm doing a sound and I click that on, it could enhance it. We will find out. And then, you know, a few other pedals in mono going into the Thermion Freeway amp cab simulator, the analog amp cab simulator. So all that's happening at once. Now, that's not that unusual from what I would normally do if I had a big board. They'd be in a different order. They wouldn't be split. I'm running through a splitter. But the main thing is to, you know, space and to see how it affects what I'm about to do. And after this is all over, I'm going to then combine the best of what I love and need on these 3 platforms, not the SY1000. That's completely separate because it has a separate pickup, which is kind of cool. So I can use that or not use it at will. But I'm going to combine these 2 effect pedal platforms that are here and maybe combine some other stuff that I really love and make one travel board because I am moving soon to Europe and I look forward to playing as soon as I get there. So I don't, you know, I'm sending my stuff over in a crate. That could take a month or 2. So I'm bringing one travel board with me. So you're helping me decide what it is I'm going to take with me. I have a pretty good idea, but, you know, I'd love to hear feedback from you as well on this. So how I use effects. This is a good example because I'm not playing notes. And so it is entirely a textural thing. To me, and I don't want this to sound highfalutin or pompous or whatever, but it's painting, right? Like I look at it as like, you know, Edvard Munch or Picasso or any great de Kooning, I don't care who it was, you know, that they were, you know, staring at a canvas, and then, you know, they had any colors or any combination of colors to throw at it. That's how I look at it. My playing's also very highly influenced by nature, like the sounds of nature and the morphing and distorting and twisting of those sounds, or how they enter my brain and come out as a different thing, or my interpretation of it. I'm not trying to sound like birds or this or that or the other thing, but those sounds trigger something in me and I release. So it's painting and colors, it's mixing from the palette and interpreting sounds. It can be street sounds too. When I lived in New York City, street sounds really influenced me because I used to sleep with the window open, especially during summer, because I didn't have an air conditioner and I'd hear everything. And you'd hear everything anyway in New York City. And those sounds, those rhythms, the clanging, all of that is just spontaneously happening. So I hope that's not too long-winded, and let me just play and, you know, you decide for yourself. But I like to use effects as textural palettes like a painter would paint. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I mean, it always works for me because it's a release, but I do understand that it has to encapsulate you all as well. So I get frustrated when it doesn't pay off for you, so don't think I'm just wanking. It's not, that doesn't make me happy. So it's a shared experience. So let's give it a go. So there you go. And just to be cheeky, I threw in a note at the end with the EBow. That was on purpose. I apologize. I just thought it'd be funny. But yeah, and I didn't even really use that many effects. Just a few. Some were on all the time. But yeah, that's the textural approach and how I use effects. And the combination of those effects can change all the time. In fact, I never ever, even when I have a live board like I was speaking about earlier, I never ever keep it the same. I'm always changing it because I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to have the same palette to paint with all the time. That pushes me and challenges me as well. So I hope you got something from that. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please ask. Again, this was the non-note version of how I approach my use with effects and lap steel, playing cinematic lap steel, but really it's just free improvisation in the British style. Okay, cool. Thank you for watching. Take care.